My name is Stacy Greer. I am a student here at Lipscomb in the adult degree program, getting my major in psychology. My husband, Corporal Christopher Daniel Greer, Daniel, call him, he was killed in Afghanistan August the 8th of 2010. We have a son, Ethan. He was 22 months old at the time. He's now 5.5. While he's at school, then I do my school. All of my classes are online. I do come to campus sometimes, to study, and then I pick him up from school and we'll go home and he'll play. I'll fix him a snack and then we'll eat dinner and give him a bath and, try to get him to bed by 8 o'clock if I can. Daniel was a combat engineer. They always looked for IEDs, like that's what they did. The IED was against a wall and they were just kind of standing there talking after they had already searched for the IED and they just didn't pick up. And one of them moved wrong and it just went off. And there was 3 Marines at my house and they just kind of waited for me to get there and then they told me. And so then it was just a waiting game. Because they were moving them immediately. That's what they do when someone gets hurt. They go to Germany. And if they're gonna make it, then they move them to Walter Reed. But if they're not gonna make it, they stay in Germany and you can go and see him if you want. And his dad was at my door at like 3 in the morning ringing the doorbell telling me, it's bad. They think that, that he's brain dead, that he's not gonna make it. I know when I went to Germany, on the way over there, a part of me, I was like, well, maybe they made a mistake. Maybe he's not gone. But, when I saw him, I knew he was. That was the worst part of it all. My husband, Daniel, was 25 when he lost his life. I went to Nashville when they flew his body in. We were coming through from the airport all the way back to the church in Pegram where his services and visitation and all that were. There were people lined up through Briley Parkway, the interstate, all firefighters, police, everywhere, like flags, and it was just crazy, all of the people that were out there. Sometimes I would just be sitting at home like, this is boring. What am I supposed to do? I need to do something. So, that's when I was like, I'd pray, I'd be like, please just tell me what you want me to do, So I decided to go back to college. I want to help other people, that have been through what I've been through.
Stacy walked into our office one day, basically just saying, I want to be a student here at Lipscomb University. I have some college background. I'm the spouse of a veteran. I would like to be part of this organization, this team, and this educational opportunity. The reality is not all of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marine are fortunate enough to come back, and they leave behind those family members to pick up the pieces and determine what they want to do with the rest of their life.
We tried to get her into the Yellow Ribbon program, and unfortunately, because her husband didn't transfer his benefits prior to him getting killed, she was unable to use the Yellow Ribbon benefits. So we just kept digging.
There were points in time when April and I looked at each other and said, well, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make ends meet? How are we going to get her through this educational process without a huge amount of debt incurring for her when she leaves college?
And that was hard on both me and Jim because with her situation, there was no reason why she would have to pay for her education. I have guys that served in the military for 3 solid years and their education is completely covered, but this wife who has sacrificed everything, her family, and had lost so much, I couldn't give her a free education. And it was heartbreaking. We
were blessed in that we had the Charlie Daniel Scholarship for Heroes, but even that has limitations to it. So there's still some money that we needed to come up with, and we needed to work with the school, the local community to try to come up with that. But then a wonderful thing happened. As April and I were sitting in a meeting and we're talking, we had several people around the table and we wanted to take the opportunity to say, hey, here's a story of a student, not your traditional student, not one of our veteran students, but the spouse of a lost veteran. And this is her story. Within 15 minutes or so of us sharing her story, we had a commitment to fulfill the rest of the needs of her college education. And that came from a wonderful couple who's been just a tremendous blessing to this university and this program, our veteran students, and that's Joe and Mercedes Longever.
We should never, ever, ever allow a soldier, the spouse of a soldier, or any family members to ever have to have student loans to go to school. We need to be there to help them get through school without that process.
I was so surprised when they were gonna fill that gap for me. I was just like in shock. I just started crying. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And in that moment, I just knew this is where God wants me to be.
That is criminal to think that there's some young women, some young sons and daughters of fallen soldiers that are trying to go to school, but they can't because the rules don't allow. Well, we're here to break some of those rules, and we're here to try to help those folks get an education.
This has just been like the best year since I lost my husband. Like, I just feel like I've just been a lot happier, and that I'm really doing what God wants me to do. And when you do that, it's like He shows you the way and everything just works, To everybody in the audience, the Longevers, they stepped up and to help me, and I'm so thankful for that. Like, I'm just so grateful that they've done that, because that is really going to help me in getting my degree. I just appreciate them so much, and I know there's people out there that can do the same as they've done for me.